guys, introspection here. So, unfortunately, Uku won't be joining us today. I know, it's sad. But as you probably already know, the Avengers are down a couple men. So, until they can regain their strength, they kind of have to just occasionally call Uku away to pick up the slack. But we can hopefully still have fun here together, right, guys? Oh, hopefully. Well, anyways, let me give you the small disclaimer I kind of have to give every time I do one of these weird drawing type videos. So, on paper, I'm not great, but I'm usually pretty decent at drawing. But for whatever reason, whenever I do digital drawings, it just tanks. Like, I'm talking below kindergarten level. Don't know why, just happens. With that said, I still think this is probably the best format to explain certain topics with, so even though they're not going to be pretty, it should still help you to better understand the topic I'm speaking about. Speaking of which, what is the topic of today's video? NFTs. Now, there's a good chance that you saw this and, like me, you were terribly confused. It just didn't make any sense whatsoever. And there's also a really good chance that you just have never heard of this acronym before. At all. Just totally new to you. Both are fine. Now, I went ahead, did the research, of course, and I saw a lot of YouTube videos. And a lot of them, most of them, honestly, were very comprehensible. They laid stuff out, they made everything pretty understandable, and, I understood it, and I'm an idiot, so. With that said, I know that part of what might have helped me is that I am kind of sort of in the realm of digital economics and accounting, that kind of deal. So if you're not really in that area, even if you're tech savvy, you could be tech savvy and still not fully understand this. The videos that they have on YouTube still might be a little too much info to chuck at you at once. So what this video is meant to be is kind of like a half step between being terribly confused or not knowing about this at all to the current videos on YouTube that explain the basics of it. In other words, I'm going to give you enough to have a working knowledge of this concept, but you're not really going to understand the fundamentals from this video. So, to give you an example of what I mean, think about a car, right? You know that when you turn the wheel, the tires move. You know that when you hit the gas, the car goes forward, and you know when you hit the brakes, the car stops doing the going forward. Now, don't get me wrong, NFTs are not as complicated as actual motor vehicles. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that that's the level of understanding you'll have of NFTs. And if you're more curious about what an NFT is, fundamentally speaking, watching those other videos will be a lot easier after watching this one if you're not used to thinking like this. So, what is an NFT? Basically, it is a painting, a digital piece of art that they treat like if somebody had painted a real piece of art. So, just like a real piece of art, let's say, for argument's sake, let's say I'm Picasso, and I make this amazing Picasso drawing, right? I'm going to be like, there's only one of these Picasso drawings in the world. I made it because I'm Picasso and it's valuable. And this other person is going to be like, I'm going to give you $1 bajillion for your Picasso painting. And I'll be like, sure, I'll give you this Picasso painting and you give me the $1 bajillion. Now, what probably confuses a lot of people at this point is, well, digital art, unlike real art, can be copy and pasted, right? Unlike real art, it's just a bunch of ones and zeros. So how can you treat it like it's a singular painting? Well, here's how it works. Let's say I create my NFT, right? This is not an NFT, by the way, but let's just say, for argument's sake, this is the NFT that I have made. What you can do and what makes it a singular piece of unique art that can't be replicated is that you essentially attach a signature to it, right? Signature. Now, stay with me here. The signature isn't a literal signature that I write on the digital drawing like you see on a lot of other digital drawings. Those can still be copy and pasted. Basically, the signature acts the same way as digital currency, if that makes any sense. So think about it. You can't let's say I have $10 in my bank account. You can't really copy and paste to make more $10. You just can't. You have to put in money that you earn or get from somewhere else. And it's the same thing with the signature. You just can't copy and paste the signature. You have to get the signature from somewhere else. If I have $10 and I give you $10, I lose $10 and you gain $10 even if we do it all digitally. It's the same thing with the signature. If I have the signature, I give it to you, then you have the signature, I no longer have the signature. Same thing. So, what we know so far is we have a drawing and we have a signature that goes with is digitally attached to the drawing. The signature is what really can't be replicated because it's treated like say a dollar bill in a bank account. It just can't be copy and pasted. You have to get it from somewhere else. So again, I have the signature. You don't have the signature. I give you the signature. I no longer have the signature. You have the signature. That is fundamentally why you cannot copy and paste. Now, the artwork itself, yes, you can still screenshot it. It's not that hard. If you don't know how to screenshot something, just Google how to screenshot on whatever device you want, and pretty much all modern devices can screenshot. So, it's really here to act as two reasons. This is the other part that confuses people. So now hopefully you understand what an NFT fundamentally is and how it works. But you might be confused as to, well, why does anybody care? Well, okay. So the first reason is that mentally speaking, people still treat it as that with the signature, it is the original authentic object. Think about it this way, right? Take the Mona Lisa, right? Say I have our Mona Lisa person here. And this Mona Lisa is the original. Now, I, being an amazing forging person, can make an identical Mona Lisa. Nobody's going to be able to tell the difference unless they're up there with a magnifying glass looking at the age, or maybe they're a chemist trying to test the chemical compound of the painting versus the original Mona Lisa. I can be so good that that's how precise you need to be able to tell the Mona Lisas apart. So really, there's no practical reason why you want the original Mona Lisa over my new authentic copy. But mentally speaking, you know that this Mona Lisa is the original, right? This is the one that everybody wants. It doesn't matter how good the copy is, you want that Mona Lisa. And it's the same thing with the NFT. Yeah, you can make perfect copies of the NFTs all day long. It's much easier on a computer than it is in real life. But people want to be able to know they have the digital signature telling them that it is the original copy of that NFT. That's part of the reason why they're being sold for so much. Now, the other reason, and to be quite honest with you, moving forward, this is just my speculation, but just hear me out on this, okay? The other reason is because it's a method of people making money. I mean, you can make money off of NFTs. That part's not speculation, but how they do it, that's me, okay? So, you know those art galleries or art sellings where they're selling paintings of a singular dot, and they're selling it because the dot means life and death and the commonality between it, and only a true artist could have drawn the dot in such a manner that it means such a deep concept? You know what I'm talking about. It's like in every other spy movie. So, in real life, right, say I have this amazing painting of this singular dot, and I have a bunch of rich people here prepared to purchase the dot, right, this amazing dot. Now, I want to sell it for a number with a lot of zeros because I want the monies, right? Straightforward so far. Well, somebody else might want to buy it because, for example, they might also have, let's say this guy has other drawings or paintings or whatever by the same artist, right? Same quality, just for the sake of simplicity. If he buys it for this many zeros, then that probably means that the other pieces of art he has are going to sell for a similar price, because that's what this is valued at. That's what it was purchased for. So I'm able to sell the painting for a lot of zeros, right? And I get the monies. But then because it was sold for this much, that means that the other ones are going to be sold probably for a similar amount to other people. In which case, they can sell those paintings for that price, and then somebody else is probably going to be like, I'm okay with paying that more expensive price because these other paintings from the same peoples is also probably going to go up the same amount. So I can sell my other paintings for that many zeros as well. My guess is that this is what happens with the NFTs, right? Basically, it's this whole thing, but instead of a physical painting of a dot, you have a digital painting of a dot, and you pretty much play out this whole thing, but digitally. So yes, fundamentally, for the sake of having a working knowledge of what an NFT is, that's pretty much all you need to know. One more thing I should probably mention. The NFT stands for non fungible. Non fungible. What was. Ah, shoot. Token. So don't be scared by the acronym. It's not. I promise you, it's not as scary as it sounds. Nor is it a delicious dessert. Unfortunately. Basically, what non fungible means just means that it can't be replaced, nor can you make more of it. Think of it this way, right? Okay, back to the Mona Lisa example. Sure, I can make copies of the Mona Lisa. I can make authentic things that look so amazingly perfect that the only way you're going to be able to tell the difference is if you have like the world's best art expert like super highly analyzing it for half an hour to make sure that there's no inconsistencies. At which point, yeah, I could technically make other Mona Lisas, but really, there's only going to be one original made Mona Lisa. So you can't make more of that one painting. It's non-fungible. You just can't make more. But for argument, not arguments,